Now, according to the latest survey, many state schools are still struggling to engage children in physical education, and some people believe that could cost us medals at the 2012 Olympics.
It's been estimated that a third of Britain's athletes at the Games will be the product of private schools, even though they only account for 7% of all Britain's school children. Our Suffolk reporter Kevin Birch is in Ipswich, where they're trying to improve things. Kevin.
This is the Westbourne Sports College, and this is the Ipswich Basketball Club. And what's happening here is really crucial in this whole debate, because there's real evidence that when youngsters hit 16, they lose interest in sport and fitness. And the idea is that if you build the links early between the schools and the clubs, then you help them remain active. And this is not the only school in Suffolk where it appears the tide is turning.
There are 800 pupils at Great Cornard Upper School, and the one big advantage they have is this sports centre. Opened 4 years ago, it's run by the school and open to the community. No surprise then that here they're so keen on keeping fit.
The philosophy here is that competitiveness and participation go together. We only have to look at what happens when the rugby team win the World Cup or the cricket team win the Ashes. Everybody's got a cricket bat or a rugby ball out there, and that's the attitude here very much, that the two things go together, they're not exclusive.
With a jump, stretch.
The government's goal is to give 5 to 16-year-olds the 5-hour offer. That's 5 hours of sport every week by 2011, including 2 hours of high-quality PE and sport within school. Latest figures in Suffolk show that more pupils are now getting that 2 hours compared with 3 years ago. But Look East has already revealed how across the region many pupils are still falling short of that target and using sports facilities which are outdated. So, in Suffolk, the pitch is improving and they hope for more. As one official put it today, if you can't get people motivated, with London 2012 looming, you never will.
Well, if anyone needs inspiration about the Olympics, they should take a trip to Southend, because there, this fabulous new diving complex is taking shape. It's already been earmarked as the base for the British team, and today, the team's boss, who just happens to be Russian, was on site.
But the scoreboard is very important.
Yeah.
And the bigger, the better.
Absolutely.
Alexei Evangulov knows what world-class divers need. It's all about attention to detail.
For example, handrails, not right direction, but it's very easy to fix. During rotation, a wrong light could be bother him to make a right dive, right? There will be windows, but we need curtains.
The only diving tower in the east of England is now nearly finished. I'm standing on the 10-metre platform, and I can tell you it's a very, very long way up. Anyone who dives off this deserves a medal.
But it's not just the tower that will set this pool apart.
The best dry land facility for diving in Great Britain. This huge area, see, we will have trampolines here, dry springboards.
And the British team had to get in quick before China or America nabbed it.
Yeah, we are very friendly, but sorry. You train there, we train here. And we plan to make a medal.
Do you plan to make a gold medal?
Yeah, sure, there is possibility.
Tom Daley?
Sure, it will be very hard. Especially after his victory last year in the World Championship. The other country, they are undertaking everything to beat him next time.
And to make sure the likes of Tom Daley are ready for Olympic battle, the training sessions here will be open to the public. Gareth George, BBC Look East.
Well, let's have a chat with John Clough, who's from Suffolk Sport, the body which is charged with getting everyone in Suffolk more active. John, we heard earlier there about more children doing more PE, but also we still lag behind the national average, so some good news, but not all good.
No, I think we made great strides over the last couple of years here in Suffolk. We've got about 12% more young people taking part in sport and PE, which is absolutely fantastic news. But there's still more to do.
And a lot of private schools still are providing the Olympic athletes. Why can't state schools provide more of those people? We surely have the facilities.
Well, state schools can, I think, and I think over the next few years you will see these athletes coming through. There's been a significant investment into school sport over the last couple of years, and before that as well. And I think we'll see that coming through 2016, 2020, so watch out.
Parents like me get confused. It wasn't that long ago we were told competition's not good, sports days are not good. Now things have seemed to come full circle.
Absolutely. The National Competition Framework has done a huge amount for school competitive sport, so it's good to be competitive, but on the other hand, there are some kids that don't like competitive sport. We need to cater for them as well.
OK, John, thank you very much indeed. That's it. It's an interesting debate, but that's it from Westbourne Sports College. I'll hand you back to the studio.
Kevin, thank you very much.
So what's your school doing to encourage young people to get involved in sport? Let us know. You can phone on the usual number or email via the website. Now, the Countess of Wessex has been on a flying visit to Suffolk with 3 public engagements.
Her schedule began in Ipswich at a school for special needs pupils, and she also met performers at a dance school.
A royal visit, and the arrival was as exciting as the visit itself. Braving the cold, pupils at the Thomas Wolsey School, which caters for special needs, welcomed the Countess of Wessex before she met the head teacher and took a tour of the school.
It's just a really nice celebration because it's a very inclusive new setup because it's an all-age special school on a mainstream high school site, and it's fantastic. And for her to come is just icing on the cake, really.
Patron of the National Autistic Society, the Countess of Wessex has a particular interest in special needs. In the nursery, 4-year-old Kira last captured her attention and even offered her an early lunch.
She got right down to their level and she was really talking to them on their level, you know, and showed an interest in what they were doing in particular, everything, the different things that they were doing. She was really, really lovely.
Some of the older pupils were lucky enough to get some help with their work. Then it was time to unveil a plaque before going off to the next location, the new Dance East studios. Students here performed for the Countess.
Because I felt like I actually had to impress her. And when I went wrong, I was like, I tried to carry on, but you just knew that she was watching you.
She seemed to like it, she was smiling, so...
It was a great honour to have her come in the class. She was very warm and very interested. She wanted to know what the students were doing on the course and what their aspirations were for their future. And then wanted to watch more dance, which is always a good thing.
And after all that dancing, she still had time for a chat before heading off for a spot of lunch and her afternoon engagements. Felicity Simper, BBC Look East, Ipswich.
Now, when Gareth George was on that 10-metre board, I thought the weather presenter tonight was going to have vertigo. But she's here.
Yes, hello. It was very high, very, very high.
Proper.
OK, we're going to start with a fantastic photograph that was only taken a few hours ago by David. This was the sky above Reydon this evening, which is near Southwold in Suffolk. And for about 20 minutes, the sky was filled with thousands of starlings sort of whirling around. So thank you so much, David, for capturing that on picture. And you can see there that the starlings against a blue sky. And we at least got to see some of that today. Some sunshine and blue sky, some brightness. But it still felt pretty cold, and that's the way it's going to stay. Overnight tonight, I think we're going to have these showers feeding down the North Sea. So I think initially they'll affect the northeast of our region, so mainly parts of Norfolk and Suffolk, but eventually they'll become a bit more widespread. But that said, I think they're going to be quite well scattered, so for many of us it could be a dry night, and those showers will be a bit wintry at times, with a bit of sleet and snow mixed in. Now, there'll be clear skies at times, and temperatures tonight could drop as low as anything between 0 and -2. So, like last night, a widespread ground frost. Some of us will have an air frost, which means tomorrow morning some of us will be scraping the car, and there'll be some icy patches as well. The winds, they'll become mainly northwesterly for much of the night, light to moderate in strength inland, fresh at times around the coast. So it's high pressure still with us tomorrow, keeping these fronts at bay, but we've still got that cold northerly flow. So tomorrow, again, I think there'll be some brightness and sunshine, although there'll be areas